Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, make sure you click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. Let's see. If you'd like to participate on the discussion, you can join me most weekdays when I go live on YouTube around 4 p.m. Central Time. Today it was 4:30. If you'd like to reach out to me outside of the YouTube here, you could consider joining the Discord I've created. There is a link for that down in the description below. Also, down in the description below is a link to a Pinterest board. That is a great place for you guys to see some of the different meals and recipes that I have been enjoying as I work towards my weight loss goals. Today is day 954 of my challenge to lose 300 pounds. So far, through a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet, I have been able to lose over 250 pounds. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share today, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If anybody has any on-scale victories, I love hearing those as well. If you are succeeding with your diet, let us know what you're doing to succeed. If you're struggling, let us know what's causing your struggles. And at the end of the day, what are some things that you are doing that will make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Go ahead and switch over to the main screen here. Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. It has been since Thursday that I talked to you, I believe. I don't think I was live Friday. So it's awesome to see you guys here today. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We had a very busy weekend this weekend. I don't even remember everything we did. Maybe as I go through my food photos here for the week, I can kind of figure it out. So let me go ahead and say hello. A few people checking in. Pretty Girl's mom. Hello, Christy. Anthony checking in. Anthony, hello, hello. It's been a while. Great to see you here. Carrie's checking in saying hello. Hello, Carrie. Hope everything's going great at home today. So I don't know if I should go over all the food or the weekend, because the food and the weekend kind of tie together. So maybe we'll just kind of slowly go through the food and the weekend all at the same time here. So Carrie knew that we were going to have a busy weekend this weekend. So on Thursday night, she got the Instapot out and she made like a triple batch of Spanish rice and beans so that we had some Spanish rice and beans throughout the weekend here. So you'll see that a few times, but on Thursday for dinner, we had the Spanish rice and beans here. And then on Saturday, had a very busy day. Carrie had an event for her nonprofit. I had to come in and work on a project that I am going to be working on for the next couple months here. So I was in at work for most of the day on Saturday as well. So just started my day off. I'm sorry. I'm a day ahead. I forgot that you guys didn't see me on Friday. So this was actually Friday's breakfast. Oatmeal, and then Friday for lunch was broccoli and potatoes. And I did not take dinner. I did not take a picture of dinner on Friday, but I'm almost positive for dinner on Friday, we had Spanish rice and beans because we had so much of the Spanish rice and beans made up for the weekend. So I'm pretty sure that's what we had for dinner on Friday evening. Rebecca Tyler checking in saying hello all. Hello, Rebecca. I hope you're having a great day. So this was Friday's lunch. This was at work, my lunch on Friday. And then Saturday, like I said, I had Spanish rice and beans for dinner on Friday. Saturday, I had broccoli. I did not take a photo of my oatmeal on Saturday. And then Carrie says that, yep, and then we might have had Spanish rice and beans for lunch on Saturday as well. At least that's what she had for lunch on Saturday. I can't remember what I had for lunch Saturday. That sounds about right. Or it seems like that's probably what I had for lunch on Saturday. But then Saturday evening was busy. Carrie was out dealing with some stuff with the kids, so I had to take care of dinner and just kind of looking through the pantry, trying to figure out what to make. And I decided to make up my own thing, I guess. So we had potatoes. We always have potatoes. But we also had the ingredients for our creamy polenta with white beans and mushrooms. And so I decided Saturday to experiment a little bit. And so I ended up making our creamy polenta with the white beans, but instead of having it on polenta, I mashed potatoes and I put the nutritional yeast in the potatoes. I believe there's turmeric in the potato as well. So essentially I made the potatoes like we would make the corn grits normally. And then I just put the white beans and mushroom mix on top of the white potatoes. It was pretty good. It was very filling. I wouldn't choose that probably over the polenta, but I did enjoy it, and it was something I was able to make. I just, like I said, I noticed that we had the ingredients for the toppings, so I pulled up the Pinterest board, looked at the recipe, made sure I had all the ingredients to make what I was planning on making, and I put it together, and I didn't die from it. So that would be a huge plus, I suppose. And then on, let's see, Sunday, we had a lot of traveling yesterday. I might have mentioned it. I think I mentioned it on my stream on Thursday. And we had a family event on Sunday. My extended family has not had an opportunity to really get together in, 3-4 years, or just kind of all of the get-togethers that we used to do prior to 2020 kind of don't happen as much or don't happen at all. So my extended family planned a reunion for this weekend. So we traveled up to my where some of my relatives live, and we had some fun, and I'll kind of go over that here. But as I talk about the food from Sunday morning, we had oatmeal and then broccoli, kind of just our standard morning. Didn't really change anything or do anything different. Let me see what this photo is of. Oh yeah, these are not important. So we had our oatmeal and broccoli for breakfast. And then we brought a few different things to eat while we were there. It was kind of a all day event. It was like I want to say they had the place rented from like noon until 8 p.m. And so then people brought food to eat for like a late lunch. But then we were kind of there through dinner as well. So people were kind of going and getting food multiple times throughout the time that we were there. So we had brought a few different options for food. But we're just kind of big nerds. And so the main dish that I had at my family get together yesterday was potatoes and broccoli. And so we had cooked up a bunch of potatoes in the Instapot before we left. So we had at least twice as many potatoes. We might have had 4 times as many potatoes as what you're seeing in the photo here. We had a lot of potatoes, and we brought a couple bags of broccoli. And fortunately, the place we were at had a microwave, so I was able to steam the broccoli in the microwave and really just had our own meal. But everybody kind of did too. Like, everybody brought a dish to share, and we had brought an orzo pasta that Carrie had made a couple weeks ago that has some dill in it that she really enjoyed, that we brought to share. But I kind of, knew nobody else was going to want to eat broccoli and potatoes. So we brought our broccoli and potatoes. Jay here says, yes, Jonathan, BYOF, bring your own food. I was going to say BYOB, bring your own broccoli. That's what you got to do to events is BYOB, bring your own broccoli. So yes, we brought our own food. Everybody brought their own food kind of, and we're used to bringing our own food to all of these events because there was vegetable trays and there were fruit trays that were there, but most of the dishes that people brought to pass, I didn't even look in them. So I don't even know what was in them, in all the crock pots that we had. I thought about kind of looking through them to see, but it didn't really pique my interest that much, I guess. Yeah, everybody was kind of, nothing that anybody else brought I would have been able to eat except for the veggie tray or the fruit platter. So we brought our own food to the event. And then something that kind of happened, that because we were there so long, and we were there for a while, and it got to be about 5:30-ish, 6 o'clock, or 5 to 6. And I was like, oh, I'm starting to get kind of hungry again. And so some of the other things that we had brought the leftover topping from the white bean and mushrooms that I had made on Saturday. So we had some of those leftovers, and then I took a couple of the potatoes that we had, and Jay says, not bottle. Yes, BYOB, bring your own broccoli, not bring your own bottle or bring your own beer, bring your own broccoli. So this is actually the this is the white beans and the mushrooms, and just mixed with a couple of potatoes. But at about 5 o'clock, I noticed I was getting a little hungry, so I decided to start getting that together. And really, kind of by the time I finished getting this together, I noticed that there was another kind of rush of people coming to the food tables to get some food. But at that point, a lot of the desserts had been out. And so a lot of people were running over and grabbing desserts kind of at dinner time because we'd been there so long. And so then I just filled up on some potatoes and some mushrooms and white beans. And let me see if I have any other photos from the event. I do not. I don't have any other food photos from the event. I guess I'll real quick go through the food today, and then I'm going to go back and talk about some of the fun stuff from the event that we did yesterday. So just today, real quick, I had oatmeal for breakfast, broccoli after the oatmeal, and then for lunch today, I had broccoli and potatoes. So that was my food here for the weekend, or since last Thursday, since I last saw you guys. But there were some other photos I was going to share here. And if you saw the thumbnail from today, you'll have seen one of the photos I was going to share here. So a neat thing about the reunion we had yesterday, for me, more than my kids or for Carrie or anybody else, was that we went and visited my relatives that live an hour and a half away. And when I was growing up, we used to go to their house every year. Our family or the adults in the family did like a golf outing where we would all go. I think it was probably a Saturday. It could have been a Sunday, but we would go one day on the weekend. We'd go and all the adults would go to the local golf course and that they would all go play golf. And all of the kids would kind of just run around town. It's not like a huge town. And so we would show up. Sometimes I believe we would bring our bicycles, or other times maybe we would borrow bicycles from my cousins. I'm not even sure. I just remember that we used to go all over this town, and there was a couple parks in town. And we used to go and play at the parks and do all kinds of fun stuff. But as we got older, stopped going to that event as much. Maybe it was around football season, so I would have practices or some reason not to go, or we just got busy. And then as I got into a college and then had kids and things, just hadn't gone to that event for a long time. And then we haven't had the event for 4 years probably. So anyways, we used to go up to this town. We used to visit and play in the parks and do things. And it has been years and years and years since I had been there and kind of visited the town in that way. So when we had the event in that town, I didn't really think too much of it. I just thought, oh, that's cool. We're going to go and have, they rented out a place up in town, and it was just going to be, a family reunion. And as we got up there, kind of a bunch of memories just kind of started flooding back into my head, just like, oh yeah, I remember riding down there and playing there and doing that kind of, doing things over there. And it ended up being that the place where we had our family reunion was actually right next to one of the parks that I used to play at as a kid all of the time. Not all the time, but at least once a year, a couple times a year, we would go and we would play at these parks. And so just kind of a bunch of nostalgia hit me kind of when we first showed up. And then I got talking to my cousins, and they were talking about how the park here still has what they call a T-swing. And what a T-swing is, let me see if I have a video of some of the kids playing on a T-swing here. Here's a video of me pushing the kids on a T-swing. Let's see. So a T-swing is a big pole that has another pole across the top and then a swing on either side. And so I'm not exactly sure if there's a proper way to use the T-swing, but our kids had a lot of fun on it, and we were pushing them around. But they're very dangerous. 2 of my kids got hit in the face with these metal bars that are hanging down. It may or may not have been my fault that it happened, but it did happen. Trying to push the kids or swing them with that bar, and then you let go of the bar and it swings back to their head or to their face or towards them, I guess, at the very least. And so they're not a super safe playground equipment, but they also had a bunch of other things there. They had a merry-go-round that you don't see a whole lot at playgrounds. And then they also had one other thing here you don't see a ton of. Oh, you know what? I don't have a photo of, they had teeter-totters, right? Teeter-totter, seesaws, whatever they're called, that our kids were playing on. So, but it was really cool. I mean, this merry-go-round the kids are playing on is probably the exact same merry-go-round that I had played on when I was a kid. And so it was cool seeing all that. But then Carrie ended up taking some photos. I couldn't let the kids be the only ones running around having fun. So I ended up hopping on that T-swing. Yeah, this is me on the T-swing there, being pushed by my daughter. But it was a lot of fun getting on there, the nostalgia of it, and being able to actually get on there and do that. Like at 520 pounds, I'd have been freaked out that I was going to break that thing. And at 260, I was a little bit nervous. I was a little bit nervous that it wouldn't hold me at 250, but it was all right. If it's been standing that long, it probably can handle 250-pound adult. Carrie says there was a lot of risk taking our kids to that park. Yeah, they had a couple like straight metal slides. One of them was like where you climb up the steps and then it corkscrews down to the ground, that it was all kind of metal. And then they had one kind of taller 10 or so foot slide that was just a metal slide that our one daughter, every time I saw her go down it, she was like a rocket ship because of her pants. Like she went down it and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe how fast she just went. And then our other daughter went down and she went like at half the speed. And I was like, it must be the pants. Cause, but yeah, it was fun taking them to the park. They had a lot of fun. They had a little rock climbing thing that they were able to do that was a little bit more modern. But yeah, it was a lot of fun at the park, and I got to have a little bit of fun. And that's not something that I would have been able to say 3 years ago. You know, 3 years ago, before this challenge started, more than likely I find an excuse not to go. Like I wouldn't even probably gone in the first place to the family event being 520 pounds. But you know, being able to go and feel confident, feel like I can, you know, participate, not stick out like the big fat guy in the corner. And so it was a lot of fun. You know, and I did get some comments from my family, which was great to get. They've seen that I've lost a lot of weight, whether it's from seeing me from, you know, before and now, or just seeing the different posts on Facebook and talking to my family and just knowing kind of what I've been working on. So it was nice to talk to people and have them recognize what I had been doing. You know, we ended up getting not decent, but a couple conversations about being vegan, I guess. Didn't really get deep into diet stuff or anything like that. Just a couple people asking us. And Carrie says that she just showed our daughter the picture of her up on stream right now. And now she thinks she's famous because she's on YouTube. So if you guys could all hit the thumbs up for my daughter there so she can become YouTube famous, that would be great. She would appreciate it. But yeah, getting to talk about what I'm doing and seeing, you know, some interest in it. You know, it's a tough thing though, you know, because of it's yeah, there's a lot that goes on, I suppose. When you have those conversations, you have to kind of gauge what you could even Jay asked, did I get any weight loss compliments in the reunion? Yeah, I got a lot of weight loss compliments at the reunion. You know, most of my aunts and uncles made a comment. A lot of my cousins made a comment. Yeah, I got a good bit of recognition for my weight loss. It was pretty fun. It was nice, but it wasn't like, it wasn't a focus, I guess. It was kind of like, oh, you look great. And then it's like, oh, how you been? What are you doing? You know, like it was, kind of the start of the conversations. So yeah, I did get some compliments, which was great. You know, it's something that I've talked about in the past. When you go to these events and you go to these functions where you're going to be seeing people that are going to notice the difference. It is, to me, what I'm finding is I feel like that it's even more important for me to be on my diet and be sticking to it in front of everybody. Don't use that event as an excuse to let something slide. And it's something that I really found that, well, one, I know I did it in the past when 10 years ago or 15 years ago, when I would lose weight. I can specifically kind of remember when I lost weight 10 years ago and going and seeing family and people being, oh, that's amazing. How did you lose the weight? And at the time, I did it because I was on a prescription. I was on an appetite suppressant, but I wasn't telling people that. I was just telling them, oh, I'm just eating. I'm just not eating is what I would say. I was like, oh, I'm not eating. You just got to eat less food. That's how you lose weight. Just eat less food. But then in front of them, I'm eating a bunch of food and I'm eating a bunch of crap food because we're at an event and I wasn't on like a specific diet. I was just volume and calorie restricting. So anything was open to eat. But then when you're at an event, you kind of are like, oh, well, I'm going to just let it go today. I'm going to just go all out today, or I'm going to eat a lot today. And those relatives or those people at the event that noticed that you've lost weight, they may be watching you and you don't even realize that they're watching you. And so for me, in my mind, at least, I think that if I'm going to go to this event, and if I have any relatives that are, considering losing weight, or they're trying to do anything with weight loss and they've heard about what's going on with me, and then now they've finally seen the difference between me now and me 3 years ago, then they're going to maybe pay attention to what I'm eating, even though they could come up and talk to me. But again, I would never have gone up and talked to one of my cousins and said, tell me what you're doing. How did you do it? But I probably would have watched them and been like, oh, what are they eating? And in the past, I would go to events and I would just eat whatever I wanted. And it would just be, and I wasn't setting a good example, and I wasn't really portraying what my diet truly was. And, Tammy here says that picture makes you happy on so many levels. And Carrie says, right. Tammy, what'd she say? Such joy. Yes. The photo of me and my daughter there. But so when I'm at a public event, in my mind, I feel like it's the most important for me to be on diet and on plan and successful, so that if somebody is paying attention to me, maybe they're, well, at least if somebody is paying attention to me, they're not getting the wrong impression. Let's say at 5:00 yesterday, when I went and made my potatoes with the beans and the mushrooms, if instead I said, I'm hungry, I'm just going to go grab something out of that casserole dish, or I'm going to go have some cake, or I'm going to have a dessert or whatever, and pick a food that's less than optimal, then that might be the only thing that person saw me eat. They didn't see me eat the big plate of potatoes and broccoli earlier, but they see you eating the cake later. And then in their head, they're like, oh, well, he lost that weight and he gets to eat cake too. And it's not really the case. You can lose the weight and then have cake after you lost the weight, but there's not likely that the person lost the weight while eating cake. And so Jay here says eating this way becomes a habit. Yeah, it's very much a habit, eating this way. I don't have any issues with being tempted or getting out of the habit that I'm in. And so, it was good to see people. It was great having them compliment me. And I think that to help keep me on track, I think that's a big part about it too, is it keeps me on track, is that I need to represent myself and my diet completely when I'm in public. And that is what I've kind of stuck to, and I'm planning to continue to stick to, because I would like people to be influenced by what I'm doing. And if they see me succeeding, they see me eating this way, then maybe they may give it a try. Because of all the ways I've lost weight in my life, this has been the easiest when it comes to physical exertion and like the mental like struggles that I had in the past. You know, just in the past, eating a low volume diet is something that over time catches up and it becomes unbearable. And this diet isn't like that. Like, I don't ever feel underfed. And if I do feel underfed, I don't feel the need to keep myself from eating. A lot of times in the past, I would be on a diet and I'd be like, oh, I'm so hungry, but I already ate all my calories for the day, or I just ate an hour ago. You know, like you had all these rules around eating and when you could eat and how much you could eat. But the big thing is I didn't need to change how much I eat or when I eat. I needed to change what I eat. That is the biggest thing that you need to do, is change what you eat. So yeah, it was awesome going up there, feeling like a kid again, you know, like just remembering like being on those swings and just being able to have that kind of joy that I would have missed out on. Like, that's a weird thing to think about, is like all that joy that I had yesterday, all the fun that I had, the seeing people and the familyness of it, and like the social aspect of it. Like, there was so much that was enjoyable about yesterday that if I don't start this channel 950 days earlier, I don't experience. I don't go to that event. Or if I do go to that event, I don't have the same joy that I had yesterday. I don't get to walk around and feel comfortable in my own skin wearing a shirt that is far too small for me from when, like, I have a video on my phone. God, it would take me forever to find it. But I have a video on my phone of me wearing this exact, let me pull this. Let me see if there's a good photo of me standing here. So this shirt here is, I don't even know where it came from. It might be something Carrie had, or it might have been one of my brothers. Carrie may have told me yesterday where it came from, but I'm not even sure where this came from. But it's an Under Armour thing. Let me see if I can find the video of me when I was wearing this a long time ago. Let me see. So if I go to, no, don't do that. We're going to go here. We're going to change to videos. And then we're going to go back to, 2020. Let me see. I'm going to find it. It's after I lost some weight. Let me see. Let's see. Carrie said the jacket was actually one of her friend's dad's jackets. That's where we got it from there. Let's see here. Gosh, let me see. I feel like, oh, this is just riveting, isn't it, guys? Amazing. Me staring at a phone trying to find, I know it was at least a year ago that I took this video of me in this. I should have had this queued up before, or planned before. The only other thing it might be is, there's no way I'd find it that way. Anyways, I have a video of myself in this shirt where it's far too small. I'll have to find it sometime. and show you guys the difference between me wearing that shirt now and me wearing it a couple years ago. But that shirt did not fit. It was nowhere even close to fitting. And so I am excited that I was actually able to wear it out, have it zipped up. I found the video. All right, let me see. I don't know how it's going to come across here, but and mind the mess here, I guess. All right, coach, I'm ready to go. Let's go. So that is me wearing the exact same thing here. So let me see if I can get a I don't know. This is even worse in reverse. But yes, this was on January 8th of 2021. So this is 2 years ago, over 2 years ago that I was wearing this. So I was just 3 months into the challenge at this point. I had already lost a ton of weight, but I was able to get this on and zip it up. And so Carrie says that she really added to that with her singing. Yes, I didn't realize that was going to come across. So that is me. I don't know if I can, maybe I'll do that. And I'll have it right next to the other one here. So now I can go and try to compare the photos to each other here. So, well, here's me in an action pose in that same outfit. I got a few different photos of me swinging. But let me see. Where's the one with me standing next to it? It must be. Oh, there's some photos here somewhere. Oh, there's actually video of my kid. Yeah. So, I thought I had a photo of it. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just have videos of it. Yeah. So, so the difference between this, I mean, it almost looks baggy. And so, yes, that compared to this one here, quite a bit different. I wonder what the weight difference is. So if I was probably still over 400 pounds or around 400 pounds there. So I'm probably 120 to 130 pounds lighter now than I was in that photo there, which is just wild that I've lost that weight and I've kept it off. Like I was feeling great there. What did Christy here say? John, you may have lost weight, but not your fun spirit. Thanks. Yeah, well, I was feeling great then, so I must have lost a lot of weight already by that point because there was no way I was ever running up any steps at 520 pounds like I did there. But yeah, I was end of January, probably down 100, well over 100 pounds at that point. I don't even know what I was down at the end of January 2021. So I was feeling great, and I got that zipped up and was just playing around. But yeah, so that's kind of actually been kind of a goal shirt of mine to be able to wear, and I wore it to a family function, which was awesome that I was able to wear it. And I'm not even to my goal. I still got 46 pounds to go to even get to my goal, 47 pounds to go to get to my goal. And so, yeah, and you got to have a little bit of fun, I suppose. Right. So, so yeah, that was an awesome weekend. Got to hang out, have like I think I was talking about before, just all the fun that I was able to have that I would have missed out on, or that I wouldn't have been able to experience. Playing with my kids, pushing them on the swing, doing other things with them. We had like a little badminton game that we had set up that we played a little bit, and so there was a lot of fun things from the reunion that I got to do. So that was great. And just just like I said, I just think about like how tough life was. Let's see. Carrie says that in the past we would have been camped out by the buffet instead of outside playing. Yeah, and it's this weird thing that happens, when you eat that food that's full of salt, oil, and sugar, it drags you down afterwards. So you go to an event like that and then you eat a big bowl of food or you eat a bunch of food and then you get like blah, like you get it wears on you. So you don't have the energy to go out and play. I did not talk about kayaking. Did we go kayaking? We went kayaking this weekend. Yes, Friday. Was it Friday night? We went kayaking. I forgot. Let me think. Might have an action video of Carrie kayaking. Unless she got a hold of my phone and deleted it. Let me see. Or was that on her phone? Gosh, I thought I had a video on my phone. It was Thursday. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Did I take that on your phone and not mine? I thought I took a video on my phone from Thursday. Let's see. Yeah, it must have. I must not have it. That's too bad. I must have taken it on your phone. But yeah, we went kayaking Thursday night. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I didn't even think about that. Feeling like a kid again, getting on a boat, playing on a boat in the water. So we have a family trip coming up in a couple weeks, so I'm not going to be live, I don't know, on a Friday or a Thursday in a couple weeks. So we have a trip that we're doing. It's a float trip. We kind of do this every year. I might have talked about this a little bit in the previous streams, but we like to bring our dog on this float trip. The place that we rent these rafts from don't really like dogs on their rafts. So this year we're going to try to do our own little inflatable kayak thing. And so Carrie says it is on her phone. Okay, that's fine. So we ended up picking up an inflatable kayak. It is called a Sea Eagle 370. It had pretty good reviews online, and we're trying to work out a way to go with the kids and the dog and do this float trip. And so we ended up doing kind of a family excursion on Thursday night. We got our inflatable kayak in last week, and then we got the inflatable kayak in last week. And we messed around with a little bit. I threw it in the swimming pool just to kind of see, that it floated, make sure it was seaworthy. And so then on Thursday, we took all of the kids up to a lake that is like 10 minutes away from our house that we don't really go to. The only time I've ever gone to this lake before was to take my son up there for Boy Scouts, where they practiced canoeing. So I knew the area a little bit, or knew that I would be able to put this kayak in, because the kayak we got, it really looks like a canoe. Like it's an inflatable canoe. If I had to give it a name, like they call it an inflatable kayak, but it's an inflatable canoe. And so we got that all set up and we put that on the water and we got to go and paddle around and play. And it was a lot of fun. It was a little chilly. The water was too cold for the kids to just swim in. So we just kind of focused on the kayaking, doing different scenarios or setups, like having, us in there with the kids and see how it handled with them in there bouncing around. When I first got on the kayak, I thought I was going to flip it immediately. I was real nervous about it. Let me see here. I got, Carrie sent me this video of her kayaking. I don't know it was kind of a, let's see, late in the afternoon. Let's see here. Let me see if I can pull it up. And here we go. So this is...
I'm videoing you guys.
Oh, this is my daughter. Oh, this is the video my daughter made. I didn't do this video. I thought I had a video too. Oh, you know what? I did it on my camera. I have a separate camera, but I did a video on that. So that's just a short little video of Carrie on the...
I'm videoing you guys.
On the little inflatable canoe that we have. So, but it was a nice evening, and you know, fun to get out and do stuff like that. You know, on most Thursday nights, we never would have gone out and done. Carrie said that's the one she had. Yeah, that's fine. I had that little camera of mine that I brought out, and I don't know where it's at. So hopefully it's at home somewhere or in your car. But yeah, it was fun to get out there. Christy says fun. Yes, it was. It was, you know, we did that. I went out there with the two younger kids. I went out there with each of my kids. We kind of had each of my kids paddle on their own, or I had one of my oldest kid paddled on his own for a little while. And then we went out with, the second oldest and rode with them as they paddled to just kind of get used to it, feel what it's like. Canoeing's a little bit different than kayaking. Our oldest has done kayaking before and canoeing, so we kind of are pretty confident that he'll be able to figure it out. But the rest of the family, we wanted to see how it was, because this was nice to test it on this lake, but that's still not quite real world scenario, because we're going to be kind of floating down a river. I think we'll be able to survive anything that, you know, this inflatable kayak should be able to survive anything we see on that kind of float trip. The two concerns I guess we would have is if the water level is really low, we would have to worry about dragging on any, you know, sticks or rocks and damaging the bottom of the boat. And then if the water level is really high, the speed of the water might be kind of fast, and if, you know, it might make it difficult to maneuver away from sticks sticking out or rocks and things like that. So hopefully we get a chance to get out and do a little bit more practice and see how it goes, or try to, you know, because we still have 2 weeks, I think, before kind of we have to do it. The other thing that we have to figure out is I have to get my dog in there and get them to be cool with riding around on the raft for a few hours. And so that'll be the things we got to work this week. So, but I did forget we went kayaking. Thanks for reminding me that we did that this weekend. And just, yeah. And it was something that my legs this weekend really felt kind of worn out. Like, I feel like, I've done a lot in the last couple of weeks, you know, from the bike riding a week ago Saturday, and just everything that we've done since then. I've been a lot more active, it feels like, in the last week, and my legs have been noticing it. Christy says, are you inflating it each time you take it out? Yes, we have to inflate it each time we take it out. It comes with a big bag that you can put it in, that it kind of fits in when you roll it up. So yeah, we have to inflate it each time we take it out. It has a foot pump. And I bet it took me less than 15 minutes to get it going when we went to that lake there. And it probably, it was even quicker than that. And having Carrie there to help with it makes it go a lot faster than when I do it on my own. You know, the kids kind of help out too, which probably slows it down, but they help. And so we got this one here, and to complete our plan, we're going to have to buy another one of them. So we got to get that worked out and decide if that's what we are going to end up doing. And so that is that was from the weekend. I can't remember what I was talking about before, but just, I guess I did a lot of things this past week to feel like a kid again, just the bike ride. I felt like a kid again, felt like it was as easy to ride that bike as when I was a kid. And just the couple thing that happened to like they weren't the exact roads I used to ride on when I was a kid, but I used to ride on the same roads within a couple miles of that bike ride I took. And then going to that park this weekend and playing at a park that I remember playing at from when I was a kid, just kind of getting to do those things again. And how close I was to missing out on ever getting to do those things again, ever riding my bike for a couple miles or going on a swing, I maybe sat on a swing, but it hurt a lot to try to sit on a swing at 520 pounds. Those chains and those things aren't really made for somebody that heavy. But yeah, just all of the fun things I did this past week that 950 days ago would have been impossible for me to do. Or if I would have done them, they would have taken it out of me for the rest of the week, probably. All the energy I would have had to have expended to do those things. So, I do have to get out of here today. I have to take our dog to dog training, and then we have a busy evening this evening as well. So I am going to get out of here now. I appreciate all you guys checking in and participating in on the conversation here. I really enjoy it. It really helps keep me accountable. It does. It would have been easy to eat something off plan this weekend. There was lots of food around, but having, knowing that I got to come back and talk to you guys kind of helps keep me committed to it. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate all your wonderful comments. I get lots of awesome comments from you guys. And it really is cool to kind of pop open my phone and just be like, just see the things that you guys are saying. So I really appreciate it a lot. Rebecca says, have a fun night. I'm going to try to, yeah, I'm going to get out of here. So thanks again. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you haven't hit the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live and post new videos, you should definitely do that. And if you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's nothing coming up that's more important than your health and your overall well-being. And like this past weekend, I had a family event. Before I started my diet, it would have been very easy for me to say, okay, I'm going to start my diet on Monday. I know all of you guys have done that. My diet starts tomorrow. My diet starts Monday. But what happens 364 days later when that event comes up again? Are you going to say, all right, well, I'm going to go off my diet for this event, or are you going to say, I guess I have to learn how to go to this event, enjoy it, and stay on my diet? Well, why not start off day one doing that? Why wait till the day after? Figure it out now. You're going to have to figure it out in a year. You're going to have to figure it out in a couple months. It's something that people don't realize when they start these diets is they stick to this plan and they're in that plan for weeks and months and they're doing amazing. And then life happens. Life hits you in the face, tears your distal bicep tendon, makes you get hit by a car, you get pneumonia, your kids get sick, your parents die, you end up going on a vacation because you haven't gone on a vacation forever. Like you can't avoid life to stay on your diet. So you have to learn how to live life on your diet. You can't avoid it. So get started now, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow.